Oh, hello everybody. Since I'm in this beautiful outdoor location, which shall remain unknown, and it really doesn't matter where he is. First of all, I got a tooth pulled the other day, so if my voice sounds like I'm lisping or something like that, I'm not actually lisping. It's just this damn gauze in my mouth. Thankfully, they had prescribed me some pain medicine for it, so I'm not really feeling it right now. But yeah, I gotta have that in my mouth all the time. Not all the time. I'm gonna take it out actually for now and set it somewhere. I'll just set it right here. So yeah, be fine right there. Anyways, I just had a lot on my mind and thought this was a good way to get out what's on my mind. Let's see. First of all, I just want to say, if there's anything that you want to accomplish, and let me do the shades. If there's anything you need to accomplish in your life, the first thing I recommend doing is visualizing it. You can do this while you meditate, or do it while you're just walking down the street. I want you to just visualize it. I like to meditate in the first place, so what I do, say there's a promotion I want to get at my job. I visualize myself getting the promotion, everything that goes along with it. I visualize the look on my boss's face before he says you get the promotion. I visualize him already having those thoughts, those sorts of things. Now, realize you're getting into a very hairy territory. If you get really good at that, you can manipulate people into doing bad things. And of course, if they do those things or not, whether or not they're bad doesn't matter, but if they do those things, that's based on how strong you are as an individual and how strong that person is that you're trying to perpetrate it on as an individual. You know, in other words, some are more susceptible to being led on than others are. Some have better walls up. And typically the people who have the best walls up are the people who are best at manipulating others. And it's not really manipulation in the negative sense, it's more like just the ability to convince others that what you're saying is true. Whether or not it's true or not. And it's not just to convince people the truth or the veracity of things, to make the world in your image. Like, in other words, God had the best possible, the most possible power you could think of when it comes to realizing his vision, his or her, whatever, because God did make this world in his image. And I'm not going to even get into the his or her question of God. To me, God is sexless. I just say his because it's easier to say that way. Anyways, so, you know, we are little gods, and if we want to access that part that God gave us, that the soul that God gave us, at least access that power, we have to use it in creating things, but mainly creating good things. There is an argument that sometimes a negative action or a negative thing can create a good thing, because the balance in the world between good and evil has to shift towards the evil side sometimes for good things to happen. Now, the people, to me, those sorts of actions where a negative equals a positive, I prefer to leave that in the hands of God as much as you possibly can, because the thing is, most humans don't have the the full knowledge of what's going on in the universe or even just the world. Most humans don't have enough of that knowledge to make a correct action when it comes to doing something negative that would somehow equal a net positive. So what I prefer to do is just create as much as possible that you can see as being positive. And even in doing that, I would add to that in accordance with God's will. And to me, that's not a Christian thing. That's more like I want to respect the gears that the Lord has set in motion. The way I look at it is that God created everything we see here, the universe and everything, but He does not intervene in anything. At least not in the way that we would think. He's not gonna, smite your enemies or anything like that. Maybe he did in the Bible. That's a question that we could debate for a while. But I'm trying to make this not really religious as much as spiritual. I just want people to realize that we have a power to manifest any reality we so desire. Now that you realize that, I want you to sit down and decide what is the best possible reality you could manifest, and then begin visualizing it, and then do it. You could spend your whole life just visualizing and not necessarily get to where you need to be, and that's not good. And a lot of this stuff comes down to feeling and your gut instinct. Follow what you feel. Follow what your gut instinct is telling you. If your gut instinct tells you that you need to manipulate someone to do something, or if let me say this another way. If your instinct or your gut's telling you that you need to manipulate someone in a certain way that will keep them from doing something that will hurt others, then you probably need to do that. Like, if you know someone who's gonna kill a bunch of people, well, you should probably tell the police. Don't try to, unless you're just a master fucking magician or manipulator. If you know someone's gonna kill a bunch of people, fucking tell the cops, okay? But I'm trying to think of a good example. Okay, say you're trying to get a girl, and well, even in that case, it could be good or bad. You see what I'm talking about here? It's very hairy. Some people call that black magic. I don't think it's necessarily black magic unless you're just doing something evil. Manipulating someone to think about business advertising tactics. That's all manipulation. Think about the way women attract men. In a lot of ways, that's manipulation. They push up the boobs. They wear makeup, makes them look different. A lot of the times, the way they act when you first meet them ain't the way they're gonna act. And I mean, guys the same way too. I'm just saying that we all manipulate reality. We all bend it around us. The important thing to do is to realize when it's time to bend and when it's time to go with the flow. And then once you realize that it's time to bend, you have to bend it in the right way, at the right time, for the right reasons. If you don't, then just go with the flow. That's better. But if you know in your gut what it is you need to be bending, how it is you need to be manipulating reality, then do it now. Because God has given us this wonderful power to manipulate things for a reason, okay? We're not here just to be fucking around, dancing till we die, fucking each other till we all have diseases. Not that I'm against fucking, but I just have to say that it just seems more and more like teenagers are being encouraged to just be complete whores, sluts, whatever you want to call it, just fuck everything. And I mean, personally, I don't think, if you're a certain age, 16, you're still a child to me. And I mean, as far as the law goes, consensual sex should be legal past the age of, I don't know, 15, 16, something like that. Yeah, 16-year-olds should be able to have consensual sex, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that they, just because it's legal doesn't mean you should do it. Like, freedom of speech is legal, but does that mean that you should say anything? No. And a lot of people don't realize the distinction between legality and morality. There's a big difference. I mean, of course, two people should be able to have sex consensually. I mean, I really think at any age, personally, as long as they're the same age. But, you know, it's just one of those things. People got into legislating morality, and I mean, I think people should be able to have sex wherever they want. You should be able to have sex out in your front yard if you want. I mean, hiding these things just makes people more compulsive about them. That's part of the thing with sex, is like we hide it so much that people become very compulsive about it. See, and I have a weird view on this. I think maybe people should be more open about sex, but at the same time, we shouldn't be like fucking everybody. There should be, rules. You should try to be with one person. When you're young, I think, there's nothing wrong with seeing a few different people. But you know the difference between just dating a few people and being a slut or a whore. And guys can be sluts or whores too. I'm not leaving guys out too. So, this is just a full-on rant. It seems like it's all over the place, but it's really not. I'm just urging you to take that power you have. Take that power you have and use it correctly. Use it for the right reasons at the right time. Bend the shape to fit the moment. Because, and if you're unsure about any kind of manipulation that you're going to do, any kind of visualization, go back and think about it again. You need to be completely sure before you do these things. And then once you're sure, and you're so sure that you can feel it flowing through you, it will flow through you. Anything you want, anything you so desire. God has given you the tools. Use them. I'm Jarrod Evans. Thanks for watching.